talk about history, these are things that we are not focused on for whatever reason.
No, well, it's not that we are not focused on it. We are not given the true information. What we are given is that Hugo Chavez is a dictator. We are given the information Fidel Castro is a dictator. That's all the type of information we are given. And, and once we get that news, we run with it. It's just like the news tells you that, just like we read the Halloween riots and the Ferguson riots.
Pumpkin riots.
The pumpkin.
Jack-o'-lantern riots.
You see, that's why you need a code sometimes. I'm talking about Halloween riots.
That hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't happened yet. Yeah. Yeah, the pumpkin rioters, which did worse than what the people in Ferguson did. But the cops are very gentle. It's New Hampshire. Come on, please don't turn over that car. Can you please not? Don't turn over that car. They didn't bring all those military equipment. By the way, Trinidad and Tobago is buying a lot of that same military equipment, right? To take to Trinidad. I'm serious.
Well, you have to dump the weapons somewhere so you can make more. So you can make more. The people who produce them can make more money. So they have to be dumped somewhere. So
you said just dump it on those third world
whatever
countries.
Country. I mean, if you think of all the conflicts in the world, what's the source of the weapon? People are dying in Congo like crazy.
What is the
source of those weapons?
United States of America.
I'm assuming that. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't
You're assuming that.
It doesn't take. I just like to say I'm assuming.
I don't think Trinidad is dumping any ammunition.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm assuming that it's coming from U.S. manufacturers. There's something else I discovered here on the BBC site. Can I read that to you really quick?
Sure.
So this is Ebola crisis, many exposed to infected Mali girl. Mm-hmm. You see this woman. She's such a beautiful face. Health officials fear many people have been exposed to Mali's first Ebola victim, a 2-year-old girl. She had recently arrived from Guinea, one of the worst affected countries, and has since died. The girl showed symptoms including a bleeding nose while traveling on a public bus through several towns, the World Health Organization said.
Now, let me stop. She came to America?
No, she's in Mali.
Oh, Mali. Okay. Keep going.
A bordering country.
Mm-hmm.
43 people, including 10 health workers who came in contact with her, have been identified and isolated. The girl was being treated in the western town of Kayes after arriving at hospital on Wednesday. The child had traveled more than 1,000 kilometers, 600 miles from Guinea through the capital, Bamako, to Kayes. The child's systematic state during the bus journey is especially concerning as it presented multiple opportunities for exposure, including high-risk exposures involving many people, the World Health Organization said. The girl's mother died in Guinea a few weeks ago, and the girl was then brought by relatives to Mali. Guinea, Liberia, Sierra Leone have seen most of the 4,800 Ebola deaths. People are afraid in Mali's capital, Bamako, but life is carrying on as normal. A few people have stopped shaking hands, but physically greeting people is an important part of life in Mali, and for most, this has not changed. Some hotels have placed bottles of antibacterial gels at their entrance, but for ordinary Malians, a gel remains too expensive. Here's somewhere to give some money, right? The government has been running public information broadcasts telling people to wash their hands with soap, but though soap is not expensive, most still wash their hands with water alone. Many Malians have friends and family in Guinea, and several buses and taxis travel between the two countries each day. With the support of WHO, World Health Organization, Mali's health system has been preparing for an outbreak of Ebola for several months. But there is a culture here visiting people when they're sick to wish them a speedy recovery. This will have to change if Ebola becomes more widespread. Now, this is a part. Mali has now become the 6th West African country to be affected by the outbreak. Although Senegal and Nigeria have since been declared virus-free by the World Health Organization. The organization has 3 experts in Mali, evaluating its ability to cope with Ebola, and will send at least 4 more over the next few days, a spokeswoman said. With porous borders, countries neighboring Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia on high alert for possible imported cases of the virus, says BBC Health correspondent. Vaccine boost. The World Health Organization has meanwhile announced that hundreds of thousands of vaccine doses should be available in the first half of 2015. So there is indeed a vaccine. World Health Organization Assistant Director Dr. Marie-Paul Keeney told a news conference in Geneva that 5 more vaccines would be in the clinical trial stage in January. 2 are already being tested on humans. The pharmaceutical companies developing these vaccines, as well as the ones that are a little bit further along the development path, are committing to ramping up the production capacity to millions of doses to be available in 2015, with hundreds of thousands ready in the first half of the next year. This is good. Vaccine trials in the worst affected countries could begin in December, the doctor said. In the U.S., 2 nurses infected with Ebola while caring for dying Dallas patient Thomas Duncan have been declared free of the virus. One of them, Nina Pham, 26, had a meeting with the president at the White House hours after being discharged. I feel fortunate and blessed to be standing here today, she said, on my way back to recovery. The other nurse, Amber Vincent, has also been declared virus-free, but she will remain in Atlanta until further notice. Duncan died earlier this month, and it's still unclear how the nurses contracted the virus while wearing protective clothing. The news of the 2 nurses' recoveries comes days after the new U.S. infection, the first in New York. Craig Spencer, who we're talking about, began to feel tired on Tuesday, developed a fever and diarrhea on Thursday. He had recently returned from Guinea, where he had been working for a medical charity, Doctors Without Borders. Dr. Spencer is being kept in isolation at New York's Bellevue Hospital. And as we know, our governor and the governor of New York ordered a mandatory 21-day quarantine period for all doctors and travelers who come in contact with Ebola. So there's a vaccine, and it's good to see that the pharmaceuticals are ramping up. That makes it a little bit more pleasant. And it's spreading into a neighboring country, Mali.
But are you surprised that the pharmaceuticals have now decided they're gonna do something about it? They're gonna try to make this vaccine? Are you surprised?
No, of course not. Now, who's going to get the vaccine first? I mean, are they start giving it out in New York, or are they? Hopefully, they'll take care of the people.
Of course. No. They're not going to give it.
I wonder if this vaccine is the same as the Z-mask stuff.
They're not going to give it in the United States first. You have to have test candidates.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to go to some small town in West Africa, get some guinea pigs, as they normally
Guinea,
do.
That's the name of the country is Guinea.
Huh?
The name of the country is Guinea. You can't.
No, I guess they get some. Get some guinea pigs.
Get some, yes.
Yeah, some subjects. Test it on them. See if it works. See what the side effects are. And then you're going to come back to the United States and tweak it a little bit, right? Get rid of some of those drastic side effects, right? Go back over there. Test it again. They can all do this in all a short space of time. And then they're going to release it in America. You know, it's unbelievable. Oh, what a beautiful young lady.
Beautiful, isn't she?
Beautiful. But you know, just lately, another high school shooting just 1 hour ago.
An hour ago?
Yes. 1 killed by
state?
U.S. students and 4 injured in school shooting. 1 person was killed and 4 others injured after a student opened fire at a school north of Seattle in the U.S. state of Washington.
But they can't. Didn't that happened earlier today? Because I saw that couldn't have been an hour ago.
Well. It just says that's what the news story is reporting. Police Commander Rob Lamoureux confirmed that the gunman, who was thought to have been acting alone, also died. Yeah, it might have happened quite a while ago, but the story was yes. But another shooting, man. You know, listen, you need those metal detectors.
Oh, so you don't want to say you need some kind of control on guns, just the metal detectors?
Yeah, you need metal detectors. But did you see the ad in Florida? Where is that? They want kids of color to wear bulletproof vests.
No, I didn't see that. I've heard that many, many years ago, and people used to talk about that years and years ago.
No, but it's just an ad just showing due to all the police killings of these kids of color. You know, they brought up this ad, and then they tell you vote on November the 4th. You know, it's like an ad from some organization that, you know, the mother's telling them, you know, John, what are you doing? And the mother's like about to go to work. And she says, are you going to put on that vest today, John? He said, no, Ma, I don't want to put on that vest. She said, but John, I want to know that you are safe when I'm at work. Can you please put on the vest? He said, no, Ma, John, can you please? And then John puts on the vest, and it's a bulletproof vest. And then it tells you, please vote on November the 4th. Isn't that kind of like, that's the lowest form that you got to go to in order to get a message. A bulletproof vest. It's really, it's kind of creative.
Now, so metal detectors in schools, you said?
Yeah, absolutely.
And all that, and no leveling of classes.
You know, I
Anyway,
metal detectors. You don't believe in metal detectors?
I don't want to deal with that. No.
Why not?
Because then I'd have to go through that every day, and I've been through a situation like that. And
but
it's not fun.
you see, you can't be selfish.
It's not about me being selfish. It's a hassle. Do you understand?
No, it's not a hassle.
It is a hassle.
Is it a hassle to take your shoes off when you go in the airport?
Yes, it is.
So
that's why I got the TSA Easy Pass, and I don't have to do that.
But you know what? That's a hassle I'm willing to deal with.
Okay.
And that's a hassle many people are willing to deal with.
So you want metal detectors in every school?
Every school.
In the United States?
Yes.
You're funny.
Every school. Why is that funny?
Because it doesn't work like that.
What do you mean it doesn't work?
No.
If you're going to come into the school,
no,
you got to come to the main entrance, and you got to put all your bags.
So it's okay to have the guns, just as long as everybody's got a metal detector on and a bulletproof vest, we could be all right.
I can't.
How long would it take for you to get in, let's say, Columbia High School? What is it? 12, 14, 1,600, 1,700 kids? How long would it take to screen 1,700 kids every morning?
Not that long.
Oh, yes, it would.
If you have metal detectors at different entrances.
Every day to do that, no one would want to do it.
Everybody, 1,700 kids don't come into school at the same time. I'm
going to tell you how many kids, you would have fewer kids in school.
They don't come into school at the same time.
You would have fewer kids in school.
So you give me the solution. What is the solution then? Give me the solution.
Get rid of guns.
When you're going to fight the NRA. You go fight the NRA. Fight them.
Okay.
With this zillions of dollars. You can't fight them. You could, but you're going to lose.
Okay. So we're going to just go ahead and let it happen that way.
So what we got to do, you see?
Look at him, right? You should see this thing. Gets like this. You see? Yeah, you see, look. You are so funny.
You trying to put these Band-Aids on a sore.
And what do you think metal detectors are?
It's not a Band-Aid.
No, yes, it is. Yes, it is.
How could it be a Band-Aid? All right. Yesterday.
Okay, listen. Let me tell you what happens.
Tell me.
Again, here we got to tell Anselm in the village. Let's walk to the village, Anselm. I'm going to tell you what happens. Once in a while, 2-3 times a year, I'll get a text in the morning. They're doing a scan today. Come in early. Mm-hmm. So we don't have to go through that. Mm-hmm. Then all the kids line up. They scan them. You have your cell phone. You're not supposed to have it. You have to hand it. I ain't handed in my cell phone. You blah, blah. So you got to go through that whole thing, right? Collect the kids' phones, scan them, da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I got the solution.
And finally, if class is supposed to start at 8, by 8:40, every kid is finally in the building.
I got the solution.
So no one wants, it's a bunch of whining and crying, and I don't have my phone on me, and, I'm going to, have a nervous breakdown because I'm not carrying my phone constantly with me because they get freaked out about that. So because you're not supposed to even have your phone in the school, but nobody's going to really stop that because who wants to get in that fight? So you're going to tell me every day have you ever been in a place where you had to go through metal detectors and all that? Have you ever been in any place like that?
Yes. No.
Where?
No,
Where did you go?
No,
Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go?
It's approximately 9 p.m. Time check. It's approximately 9 p.m.